Upgrades, spiritual upgrades. What are they? What are people talking about? How do we get them? Like, subscribe, and share. Hi, my name is Lotfi Murad, and in this video I would like to share with you what spiritual upgrades are. When people talk about we're getting upgraded, what do they mean? And how do you get access to those upgrades? I would love to have them. Don't you? Don't you want to get upgraded? You may have seen people talking about upgrades in videos or articles, social media, in blog posts. And often they're not really explaining properly what's meant. And that's the thing. Once you get an expert in a certain area, you sometimes forget that you're talking to newbies who, or should I say dummies, who need a book like Spirituality for Dummies. You know, those black and yellow books. And yeah, you don't read books anymore, right? Back in the days, when we didn't have such an expanded range of videos on YouTube, especially before YouTube, before even Google, we didn't have all that knowledge online, so we had books. So you had computers for dummies. You had blah 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 for dummies, blah 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 for dummies. Or whatever you could think of, there was a book that was called That Thing for Dummies. And this is why actually I decided to record a few of these videos. And I actually think I will make a series. I will not say for dummies, because you may already have been doing quite some spiritual work, quite some personal development work, so you're not a dummy, but it doesn't mean you really know what every word means. And it's also not that important, to be honest. This is why when I'm speaking, I try to stay away from those technical terms as much as I can. I very consciously don't do an effort, because English is not my native language. I consciously don't do an effort to know all the right words in English. So I keep it simple. So the 10-year-old, technically, would understand what I'm talking about. Because I've heard sometimes great people talking, explaining things, and they would be using words, and I would really need to start Googling what does that word mean. And then I lose part of the message. I learned over time to just let my subconscious translate things, which helps a lot, which means I do not need to understand every word, also because I'm not trying to understand everything people are saying. I'm trying to get a message. So let this be a message for you. Now, focus on the message, not on the messenger, and not on the language spoken by the messenger. Technically, you should be able to sit in a room with a Dalai Lama who's not in the mood to speak English. He would start a guided meditation, and you would get the same benefits as the Buddhist monks sitting next to you who do speak his language. Because you're not trying to get everything from here, but through here. This is also how I work when I share things with people. I communicate from here also to their hearts. I rarely try to really explain everything in detail, because there are only more questions popping up then, and then you end up getting lost in the details, where the message is just for you to get that part that you need to get. You don't need to understand all the technicalities. So when it comes to upgrades, we could call this an upgrade actually. Your ability to get the message without understanding the words is an upgrade. Means you upgraded from here to here. Yes, you went down. That's an upgrade, not up. I know. Sounds strange because we're trained to believe that upgrade is just going up the mountain. Well, if you open this one, the crown chakra, you get a lot of information. Most of it you won't be able to even translate into words. So often spiritual upgrades, they are having acquired the ability to do something, to see something, to be able to work with something. It's generally about levels of consciousness. The more work you do, the higher your level of consciousness can become. And when I say the more work, it's not about the more books you read, the more videos you watch. It's often the more you sit in fucking silence. Yes, I'm saying it like this because most people think that you need a lot of data to come your way. You need to do a lot of stuff, being very active, but just sitting your ass down, shut your mouth, shut your ears, shut your eyes, and be with yourself in silence. You do not need to sit like this in the lotus position and make the sound. No, you do not need to do anything. Just get comfortable, be in silence. And yes, you may fall asleep. That's fine. Nothing wrong with that. Sometimes you're actually not even falling asleep, just going in some kind of trance. And you think you are in sleep. But as soon as the person talking, guiding the meditation, for example, says, now you can open your eyes, you're back. Because you are not sleeping. And upgrades means you have new abilities. Abilities to play with energy. To use new tools. And there are so many tools, I wouldn't even know where to start. One of the tools is meditation. A tool could be Reiki. A tool could be magnetizing. A tool could be conscious writing. There are people who can just connect to something and they start writing in somebody else's handwriting even and transmitting a message that you could call an upgrade. But recently upgrades are mainly used to talk about our transition into the crystalline form. And that is something that physically is not easily explained, and it's not like we will look like crystals, at least not for a long while. So I wouldn't even worry about that. I wouldn't worry about the term upgrade. A lot of people love to focus on this kind of words because they feel more important, they feel greater, they feel better than others or better than their older self. That's ego. I would encourage you to be more silent, to go more inwards, to be connected from here. And then also from here, but before all, connected down there, the root chakra, grounded, really grounded. Connect with your body, actually being in your body. A lot of people are not in the body. They're just in this upper part or they're hovering above. Doesn't make them spiritual. They're just escaping reality. But they're not really escaping because they're still suffering. Actually, they're suffering more because they're not in their bodies experiencing the here and now. And yes, sometimes you have a traumatic event which makes you want to escape your body. So you get out of your body after being raped or having had a horrible accident. But that's not how we actually evolve. Because we came here in this lifetime to have a 3D experience in the physical realm. Making the connection with spirit, yes, but first place, being humans. Being human beings here on earth. So if you manage that, then that's your most important upgrade. So you have two upgrades. Being really in your body, in the here and now present, being able to be in silence with yourself. These two things will get you everything you need. When I say everything, I mean everything. Doesn't mean if you only sit in silence you will suddenly have a lot of money. But taking the time to sit in silence, to connect with yourself, you will know what to do. And it will come from here, which means you will love doing it. It means you will succeed in doing it. It means you will do it well, you will be great at it, and thus people would like to pay you for it. People want your services. People want to hire you. You will start to meet the right people for you, who you are now, not for who you were back then. So, in general, wanting your ex back, you're changing. Your ex is changing, even if it doesn't seem so. You are changing on the inside. You're literally changing, physically, all the time. We are the result of what we have been consuming. But we're also changing energetically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. So let this be your focus. Grounding, meditating. Don't worry about upgrades, because that is a natural process of evolution when you do what you need to do. I hope this was clear. I hope this helped you. This may not have been the answer you were looking for in the first place, but this is the answer you need. If you have any questions, always feel free to put them in the comments or to send me a message. And I often take time to answer them, either directly or in a video, or I'll refer to something that I already have created. Have a wonderful day. Like, subscribe, and share.